You're listening to the Rise with Tori podcast, where we explore and live out the intersection between faith, fitness, and wellness. I'm your host, Tori, and I'm so glad you're here as we desire to grow both spiritually and physically with a God-first mentality for lasting and God-honoring change. Y'all, the holiday season is in full swing, and in full transparency, I meant to record this podcast a little bit earlier, a little bit sooner than I did to get it out a little bit sooner. But as we all know, this time of year is a little crazy and a little overwhelming, and schedules are different and off. Maybe you're feeling that anxiety and just overwhelm as well. And so I apologize for not getting this out sooner, but we can still have this conversation because it still is in full swing. We're in the middle of it. Yes, we have a couple weeks until actual Christmas Day, but then we have New Year's Day, and all the festivities, and just being off of our schedules can really throw us off a little bit. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how can we continue to live a healthy, God-honoring life through this season, and then not get into the mindset of, well, now come January, I have to go on a diet. I have to do this. I have to do that. What does it look like for us to live healthy in the new year? How can we be intentional with our health and our minds as we navigate all these different schedules and colder temperatures and the extra goodies? So first things first, remember that Christmas is one day. I know there's parties, and my daughter just made Christmas cookies today with her friends, her little homeschool friends. And, there's just extra. There's excess. There's extra parties and food. But I want you to get in the mentality of, one, Christmas is just one day. I want you to enjoy it. Please do not restrict yourself. Don't feel like, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. Yes, I know you might have goals. You might have things that you're trying to get to. But allow yourself to enjoy it. And also don't overdo it. So say maybe you have already been to some parties and you've had some extra goodies and treats and stuff. Just get right back to living healthy and God honoring. Just immediately after that, treat it as, don't get into the mentality of the all or nothing where you say, oh, well, I had this, so I might as well just start on Monday, or I messed up here, or I didn't get my workout in here, and I might as well just wait until January. Don't get into that mentality. You can still, right now, whatever day you're listening to this, you can still decide and live out those healthy habits and begin to establish them and take care of your temple, take care of your body, and still be healthy, and don't throw it all away just because, you've enjoyed some extra goodies here and there. Just like I like to say, treat the weekend like a weekday. So a lot of people get into, okay, they do really, really well, especially Monday. I get into this sometimes too, where it's like, yeah, I'm killing it on Monday, Tuesday, and then the weekend comes and it's like fall off the rails. You're off your normal schedule, you're eating like crap, eating out, whatever. And so same thing goes with the holidays, is that treat the holidays just like any other day of the year, except for Christmas and except for maybe the days that you are having get-togethers. Eat well and take care of your body and sleep and drink your water. Enjoy dinner. If it's a holiday dinner, enjoy your lunch. If it's a holiday lunch, enjoy your breakfast. If it's a holiday breakfast, but then get back to your normal routine. Get back to eating healthy right after that, as quickly as possible. Don't go into it thinking restrict. But we want to enjoy, we want to honor, and we want to deny our flesh. I know that can be a little harsh or sticky, or be like, oh, deny my flesh, or turn down eating out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But we do have to have some kind of discipline. It can't just be a free for all. We do have to deny that immediate pleasure seeking part of our brain. Yes, enjoy, but also honor yourself and God through what you're eating, what you're drinking, how you're sleeping, how you're thinking, how you're taking care of yourself, but also learn to deny your flesh. What do I mean by that? Let's expand a little bit more. So enjoy your family, the time together, the extra goodies, but remember to still honor God in all that you do. I should have wrote down the reference, but in the Bible, I think it might be Colossians. It says, whatever you eat or drink, do it all for the glory of God. So whatever you're doing, do it for His glory. And then, like I already said, deny your flesh. You have to learn to say no. You can't always say yes, because that will lead to unhealth. We have to learn to be disciplined, deny our flesh when we want to eat 10 cookies instead of just one. Y'all, I've talked about my Oreos and how I love those. I have to learn to have one, maybe two, not 10. And that requires discipline and denying my flesh when I want to. Y'all, they taste so good. And I swear they put something in them. I think I said this on a previous podcast, but for real. So we have to be careful and we have to learn. That's a spiritual discipline. Learn to deny our flesh. Replace unhealthy with healthier options. So, for example, I've been having protein hot chocolate, and that's kind of like a treat, not the protein hot chocolate. I'm saying hot chocolate in general during this time of year when it's cold, Christmas. Hot chocolate just seems to be kind of that go-to drink. Yes, if you want to have a delicious, full-on cup of hot chocolate, please enjoy that, but don't have it every single day. And so, like I said, replace the unhealthy with a healthier option. And so for me, what I've been doing is having my protein, my chocolate protein, in the form of protein hot chocolate. Now, not all protein is created equal. Some will taste better than others. I tried a plant-based one the other day and it was no bueno. It was not good. So I went back to my whey protein chocolate and had that, and so much better, but I digress. Not all is created the same. And so for me, I've been enjoying making that protein hot chocolate. I feel like I'm getting a little treat, but I'm having my protein, getting my protein in, and not overdoing it. So same thing with. Oh, actually, let me tell you real quick how I make it. I do a scoop of my protein powder. I use Legion, but there's all different kinds of brands out there. Clean Simple Eats is good, and Just Ingredients for whey protein. And then I do like a tablespoon of just straight up cocoa powder. And I mix it up. I heat it up for about 1.5 minutes, and then I remix it again so it's not super chunky. And that's pretty much it. Sometimes I'll put a little bit of stevia if I want it sweeter, but honestly, the protein itself is sweet enough, so I really don't do that often. And that's pretty much it. So super easy. Protein hot chocolate. You can make it with almond milk or a milk alternative if you want. I just do water. I'm not picky. My kids love their hot chocolate with milk because it's creamier, but for me, water is just fine. Okay, moving on. Say you work in an office and there are goodies and constant things in the office. Y'all, this is so sad, but when I worked at our church, there were constantly sweets and treats and goodies. And the reason why it's so sad is I hate that that's what we go to celebrate, or we go to just constantly having that around us, that temptation. I feel like this is a whole nother podcast, so I'm not going to get into it, but I just feel like that is the thing that we go to because it's cheap, which really it's not that much cheaper than maybe getting a fruit platter or something. But anyways, that's a whole nother podcast for another day. But say that you do work in an office and there are constant goodies around you, or maybe your kids are bringing home goodies or something. One, try and like throw that stuff away if they're bringing it home, or like, ration it out of, hey, we're going to have one piece today, maybe another piece, another day, or earn it or something like that. But if you're in an office, bring your own healthier treats from home. So maybe everyone's enjoying it and you have your own little, healthier option of, I'm trying to think of something off the fly, but like a mug cake, or you bring energy bites that you made at home that are a little bit healthier option. Keep fruit on hand, beef jerky, protein options. Listen, don't even walk by that area. If you know it's going to tempt you, don't even walk by it. I know for me, when I worked in the office, I didn't even look over there. I would walk by it, but I wouldn't even look, because if it was brownies or something that I love, I'd be super tempted to go get it. And so I just didn't even look at it. I'm like, you know what? It doesn't even matter. I'm not missing out on anything. Don't have that mentality of a missing out. I'm not missing out on anything, and just keep on walking by. And another thing that I do is drink sparkling water. I put stevia in it sometimes to give it like a sweet taste, and it just, the bubbly, and it just kind of curbs that sweet craving, or that sweet temptation that I have. Another thing to remember is to practice mindful eating by paying attention to your hunger cues or cravings. So asking yourself, is my body truly hungry, or am I craving a sweet treat because it's there, or because it will fill a temporary void? I always try and teach my clients we have to get in tune with our bodies and what our bodies are truly telling us. Are we truly hungry? Or are we bored? Or is it an emotional response? Or is it something that I'm trying to replace food with? I think sometimes also we're just so busy and we're used to going through the motions that we don't pay attention to our body's cues and our body's signals to us. It's something that we have to practice. And a way that you can do this, to practice this, is to pause and to pray. Pause and pray. So when you feel a craving, or you feel maybe, I really want this right now, stop and pause and pray and ask God to guide you. Ask Him to reveal to you, and then identify, is it truly hunger, or is it your flesh? Is it a craving? Practice doing this every time you eat. Eat slower, enjoy your food. My family, y'all, we eat really fast. You would think that we have not eaten for days. I don't know why we do it. It's just habit. But when we slow down, I notice that when I slow down, or like someone asks me for something and I come back to my food, I feel full. And so we want to practice this mindful eating and body awareness and body cues, and make it a habit. Start to incorporate it and make it a habit. Because it is God honoring. God gave us these bodily cues and signals for a reason. And so we need to pay attention to those. Another thing, speaking of the Lord, is to abide with Him daily. Abide with Him daily. This time of year, it can be busy and we can kind of put God on the back burner. And isn't it ironic that that's who we're celebrating, is Jesus? And we get so busy and so overwhelmed with this time of year that He kind of falls on the back burner. I cannot overstate the importance of getting your quiet time in enough and just being with Him in this hectic and distracting season. It will help us stay grounded and intentional when, we're overwhelmed, or there's overindulgence or overspending. The enemy uses these tactics to separate us from the true source of love, life, and joy. So we focus on everything else and the parties and my kids need this and y'all, sometimes we can't help it. My kids are not in school, but when they were in school and it was dress like an elf day and wear a crazy hat day and wear a Christmas color, and it was just like, it was so much. So I get it. It can be a lot, but we don't want to neglect God during this time. Do you ever find yourself getting to January 1st or maybe, a couple of days into January and thinking, man, I feel so disconnected from God? Or you think, I didn't even grow spiritually in December. It's not impossible. It is not impossible to grow spiritually. It's not impossible to spend time with Him. One, we have to prioritize. We have to learn to say no to certain things. We might have to get up a little bit earlier. It goes back to the discipline thing of we might have to get up earlier so we can spend time with Him. But it's so necessary to meet with Him first before anything else, or to meet with Him just throughout our day. Take those times throughout the day to just reconnect with Him, because the enemy will distract. And then come January 1st and, we're like, where are you, God? Or we set a new plan or we set a new goal. Like, okay, I'm going to read this and I'm going to do this. Even if it's not a lot, try and do something through December to stay connected to Him. Even if you got to set an alarm and just have 5 minutes of breathing and just meditating on His word, or just connecting with Him and just praying and saying, God, please help me to feel you near right now. Help me to slow down. Help me to see you. Help me to see your people and to love them well. And just take those moments throughout the day to do that. My next point is to not overwhelm yourself. I kind of said this a little bit ago, but to say yes to the things that matter and no to the things that may drain you. As a recovering people pleaser, sometimes it comes back up, but just know that it's okay to say no to events. I also have a little bit of FOMO. I know some people know that, my friends, but I have a little bit of FOMO in that I don't want to miss out on being with people. It's not, for me, it's not the event itself. It's the people and the connection. And sometimes I have a hard time saying no to things because I don't want to miss out on being with my people. But since moving to Utah, it's really had to change that for me, because I am missing out on a lot of things back home, and it's hard, but we can't say yes to things just because we're worried about missing out. So it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no to food. It's okay to say no, thank you. It's okay to pack your own food. It's okay to have your own snacks. If you're worried about people judging you, it's okay. The world might not understand, other people might not understand, but if you made a commitment to yourself and to God, to honor Him and to take care of yourself so you can love and serve others well, then you gotta give Him your best and say no. Give your best to your time. Learn to say no to the things so you can honor God with your time. So you're not stressed and overwhelmed come Christmas Day and you're just crashed on the couch because you're like, oh my gosh, all these things that I did leaning up to this day. I'll give you a side note. I don't have this written down, but for me, I started shopping earlier this year, and y'all, that eliminated so much stress for me, because normally I wait until maybe the end of November, beginning of December to Christmas shop for my kids and just, all the things. And y'all, I started back in October. And how freeing it's been to know that I'm pretty much done. I just have to get stocking stuff for stuff. It's so nice. It's so nice. So I'm like, okay, I need to do this every year. But anyways, okay. I just wanted to give that little tidbit that if you wait till the last minute, if you're a procrastinator like me, try it next year. Try starting in October. Although one of my kids came to me and said, I don't want any of that stuff anymore. I want this. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? But we talked it through. And I made her realize that one, what she was asking for, she was not going to get. She wanted like a phone or something. I was like, no. Oh no, a new iPad. That's what it was. Nope, that's not happening. So anyways, quickly shot that down. But yeah, you may run into that, but it's okay. You can maybe not manipulate them, but talk them into the other options. Oh, okay. So next point is just learn to manage your stress. I feel like, a lot of times we dread the holidays because of the extra stress and pressure we put on ourselves. The buying the gifts, like I was just saying, taking the family pictures, baking the cookies, bringing the dish. Don't leave anyone out. It can feel like a lot. And really, it is a lot. So first, take the pressure off of yourself to perform or to please. Like I said, I can be a little bit of a people pleaser sometimes. Take the pressure off yourself for that. If Aunt Mildred is offended that you didn't buy her a gift this year, that is on her and not on you. Send her a card, call her, whatever, and call it a day. You can't manage what everyone else around you thinks, and nor should it drive what you do. Absolutely show up the best that you can and let God fill in the rest. So I'll tell y'all, once I stopped trying to people please and worrying about, this aunt may say this and this person might and this friend and and the expectations that I felt. Once I let that go, I found so much peace and freedom. There's too many family members and there's too many people to try and meet everyone's needs. And if they're offended, I'm sorry. I've tried my best. I know that I've showed up and I've done my best, but I can't be all things to everyone, and I can't, spend all my money on everyone. I can send a card. I can give a phone call. Things that are, for me, I think even more meaningful. But you can't put that pressure on yourself to meet everyone's needs and be all things to everyone. Next thing is to help with your stress is maybe you need a journal. Maybe dance or listen to music or move your body. That's one of my ways. But whatever it is that helps you manage your stress, do that. Do more of that. Find time to do that. Maybe you need a good cry in the shower. That's something for me. Sometimes I just need a good release, cry in the shower. I get out and I feel a lot better. And so don't shy away from caring for yourself. Take care of yourself. Don't put yourself on the back burner. Learn how to manage your stress. And so that leads me to my next point is to stay active. Stay active during this time of year. I'm learning. I have sympathy now for all my cold weather friends in that it's really hard to get out and move and to want to move my body when it's cold. I want to stay in my warm house. I don't want to go out. If y'all follow me on Instagram, you see that I have my gym in my garage. And yes, it's insulated and it helps, but it's still freezing out there. And man, I don't want to go out there. But that's part of denying my flesh and also being disciplined. But also still moving my body. Something is better than nothing. And if you only can do 10 minutes, do 10 minutes. If you can only go for a walk outside for 5 or whatever it is, do that. Don't fall into the mindset of, I'll just start in January. I'll just, everything will just start back up. Don't fall into that mindset. Try and make these things habit, so that when the holidays come, when life gets crazy and busy, that's just habit and you keep doing it. You keep doing it. Stay active. It's not only a healthy way to manage your stress, but it's great for your mental health and, of course, your physical health. If you can't stick with your normal workout routine, just do something. Walking, whatever it is, just do that and know that you're not going to undo everything you work towards in one day or 2 days or even a couple weeks. You may notice a little bit of cardiovascular or something like that, but you're not going to undo everything just because your workout routine was not what it normally is. Or if you didn't get in your good strength training session or your cardio, your running, whatever, you're not going to lose it all in a couple weeks. So just try and stay active. Try and stay moving, whatever that looks like for you. The last thing I want to cover is, well, not the last thing, but a couple things, and this is just kind of normal habit forming things, is get enough sleep. Being tired can lead to increased stress, low energy, and that can lead to making unhealthy choices. You grab for the easy, convenient thing a lot more if you're sleep deprived. Also, your brain, your brain repairs, your body repairs when you sleep, and so you don't want to skip out on that. So try and get your sleep. Also, stay hydrated, something that when it's cold, it's so much harder for me to do. And I know a lot of y'all can relate. So just try and stay mindful of that, keeping hydrated. Portion control when you are out at your parties or, whatever it is, just be mindful. Enjoy what you're having, but also be mindful of how much you're eating. Don't stand around the food because it's a lot easier to graze that way and then really kind of lose track of, how much you ate. I know for me, if I'm standing around like the chips and cheese dip, I can get a little carried away. So I kind of have to put it on a plate. That's what you're going to eat and then walk away. Also to, your events or not events, like gatherings, whatever it is, bring a healthy option. If you know everyone else is bringing not great options, enjoy those things, but also have a healthier option as well. So that you know that, hey, guess what? There is something healthy on this table that I can choose. And then lastly, just a reminder to be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. No shame, no guilt. You get to do this. You get to take care of your body. You get to eat well and sleep and nourish and hydrate and move, not have to. And so this is why I talk so much to mindset. It's whatever is in our minds and what we think. Those are the actions that we're going to do. So be kind to yourself. Be gracious to yourself. Our outward appearance is not the most interesting thing about ourselves. And so we shouldn't put so much focus on that. Or, oh, I got a little fluffy during the holidays. Whatever. Who cares? It's the holidays. Honor your body. Honor God with your body. Take care of yourself. But also the outward appearance, don't put that pressure on yourself any time of the year. Not just this time of the year, but any time of the year. Use your body to give glory to God and to love and serve others. Okay, friends, I am going to be taking a little bit of a break here. I know I missed a couple weeks with podcasts, but I normally take a little break from social media and everything. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. Today, I was feeling it. I was feeling just like, Lord, I need to get off social media. I need to just get away. Like all these things we're talking about in this podcast, I want to listen to myself and take my own advice. So I'm going to take a break. I will come back in January sometime and have all new episodes. But first, before I go, I do want to let you know that I only have like 2 spots left. of my coaching, 6-week coaching. It is faith and fitness. So what we're going to do is go through a Bible study together, and then I'm programming 6 weeks of strength training workouts. I have some mobility in there. I have options for cardio and stuff, but really it's small group training. And we're just going to get no more than 8 people. We're going to get intimate and just connect with the Lord together, but also, kind of talk about maybe health things and what God says about it. And, I'm kind of letting it up to the people that are in the group of how conversation will go. Of course, I will have certain discussion questions and stuff that pertain to the Bible study. But I want this to be an open, safe place for people to talk about things and just mull through things from a godly point of view and a godly perspective. So if you're interested in that, like I said, I only have 2 spots left. I might not have any after I say this, but check the link in my bio if you want to sign up for that. We'll have a consultation call just to go over where you're at, your goals, what you want to get out of this, and then we'll start January 6th together, and we'll do 6 weeks together. So just want to let you know about that, and I hope you have an amazing Christmas. I hope it is filled with joy and just remembering why we celebrate, why we have this time of year where things can get a little crazy. It's because of the birth of Jesus, our Lord and Savior, who had to be born to then die and be risen again, be brought back to life to save us, to take that punishment upon himself to save us from our sins. So I hope you have a blessed Christmas. I love you. I'm praying for you, and enjoy the holiday season. We'll see you in the new year.